This podcast contains explicit content.
Let's begin the show by starting it.
Hardly Focused. This podcast is Hardly Focused.
Ron, are you paying attention?
Nope.
Dissecting the news, one tangent at a time.
When there's nothing left to burn, you have to set yourself on fire.
What it is, soul brother?
I'm ready.
What we're going to talk about tonight will be disturbing to some people.
I will eat you. I will eat your ass.
Hi. Welcome to our fine program. We're Hardly Focused. Jack, Mike, and Nate Fillers.
What's up?
It's the 1st of May. This is the 455th episode of our podcast. You can get us at hardlyfocused.com. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. We are on Spotify. We are wherever you get your podcasts. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
How do?
I do.
A quick question for you guys. How much would you pay for a video game? Would you pay $100? Would you pay $200? Would you pay $562.48?
According to Marge Simpson, most video games are up to and including $70.
It depends entirely on what video game that is and what accoutrement comes with it.
So I bought a Switch.
Nice.
During the worst time to ever buy it, but I was so bored. Of course, they're sold out everywhere except for, those reseller sites.
Yep.
I really wanted to play some Zeldas, and the only place I could find it was selling it for $400 and 60 change money. $460 for the fucking goddamn and tax. So it was $500.
Oh, dude, no! Why? That's way too much for a Switch.
God damn, dude!
I was so bored.
Oh, I understand, but God, why just a Switch? Why not like an Xbox or a PS4 or even get one of the mini consoles?
Jack, because I have a girlfriend.
Oh, pshaw.
She doesn't like any of those war games or the shoot 'em mans or whatever you call them, the Halos and the Resident Evils.
She doesn't like fun. That's what you're saying.
She's a fun
Mario
sponge. Ugh.
You got to get the Marios.
Well,
I approve.
You know what? You go on and you buy an old-fashioned Wii and just pop up some Mario Kart, and you're good for 18 years.
Honestly, though, if you think about the systems like PlayStations and the Xboxes, they don't really have good two-player games that are not like online, but the person is in the room with you kind of games.
That is true. Nintendo does excel in the party game, if you will.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, whenever I think of co-op games, I think of the Lego games, because those those are easy to just sit down and play with anybody, and those are all co-op. And then you have your games like Left 4 Dead. I mean, anytime that Kate and I want to play any sort of two-player game, it's usually Left 4 Dead. Sit down couch co-op. Another couple of good games too that are co-op and story driven. There's Brothers, which I'm pretty sure is co-op. I think you can play it.
Wait, two brothers?
Just called Two Brothers, man.
This is called Two Brothers.
And then another more recent game by the same developers. It's called A Way Out. And that game's fantastic if you want to sit down and play that on the couch with somebody, or do other things on the couch with them, then I recommend A Way Out. A very good story.
Is that a sequel to Brothers?
Nope.
It's jail, right?
Correct.
I think it's jail.
Yeah, it's set in the early 70s, I think, and it's about two convicts that escape prison. And you play
Brothers?
leading up to the escape, and then the escape itself, and then everything that happens thereafter. No, they're not Brothers, and it's just it has like the same mechanics as Brothers. Brothers, you can play a single player. A Way Out, I believe you have to play with another person. You cannot.
You have to have a friend, or you're screwed. If you have no friends, you ain't playing this game.
Yeah. This game
Unless you're really good at being ambidextrous.
Yeah.
This game will make you self-conscious. So.
But yeah, I paid that much money, and of course, there's no way to get games because you have to go to a store to get games. But luckily, Nintendo's got the stores on there, but it's like $60 to download.
Okay,
man,
let me shit all over Nintendo for a second. So
go for it.
Nintendo, obviously, they knock it out of the park and then some with their first party games, their Mario.
Doing a terrible job shitting on them.
Yeah, it's called a build-up. I've got a lot of it on my gums. So their first party games are good. Those are the ones that you buy and you get them on the cartridge, which you know I highly recommend you lick every Switch cartridge you get. Those all fit on the single cartridge. It's the third party games. It's like I'm going to use Borderlands for example. The new Borderlands package is coming out for the Switch, and I guess it's got I think at least the 3 games. I don't know if the pre-sequel is included, but only the first game fits on the cartridge. You have to buy a memory card and then download some insane patch to unlock the rest of the game that you purchased. Games like Doom. They had to like cut levels and content from because it just it was too big and it didn't fit. So Switch, it's impressive to see that stuff on a system like that, but there's obviously a lot of corners being cut. Conversely, the Witcher 3 port that came out for it, the entire thing fits on a single cartridge because CD Projekt Red was like, hey, we know what we need to do to actually get this game to run well on the Switch and also not piss off everybody. We don't want them to have to download anything more than a small update to fix,
we completely eliminated Yennefer. I'm sorry. She doesn't exist anymore in the game.
But you have sex with an apparition if you unlock the right dialogue trees. So, I'm getting
that's fair.
What I'm getting at is just buy digital. Don't go out and buy the box. Some games don't even come with a cartridge. You're literally buying a case and it comes with a download code. So like, don't even bother with that. I buy everything for the Switch now. I buy it digital because A, I'm too lazy to have to switch out carts, and B, I'm just too lazy. That's it. So, but you spent like enough for 3 Switches, but I'm glad you got one. What are you playing? What are you looking forward to playing?
Thanks. Well, we already beat Katamari.
Okay.
Which is again
Calamari,
not a 2-player.
Octopus.
But Breath of the Wild, dude, solid game.
Hell yes. And I got that game the day it came out, and I just finished it and did everything to get the best ending possible. Just finished it like in January. So
it's so good.
Oh, it is absolutely fantastic. And make sure that you get the Master Sword and make sure you get that Hylian Shield, and go to all the locations and make sure your heart containers are filled. Just do everything you can to get that good ending because it's worth it. It's a good payoff in the end.
You know what's really depressing, or I guess not depressing to me, but probably depressing to everybody is I've already beat it. Like I beat it on the Wii U and I shoveled out like 100 or like 500 plus bucks to play it again because that's how much I fucking love it.
I always forget that game came out on the Wii U. Well, in fact, a lot of people forget that the Wii U exists, but yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot that came out on the Wii U.
There's just so much to do, and
so much to see. So why don't get the back streets?
My girlfriend really has been wanting to play it since it came out for the Wii U, and she's never had the opportunity. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to treat her to this amazing game. And so I had a little bit of, doing it for her too and myself. So look, I think it was worth it.
Look, you're a good guy. I hold nothing against you. I mean, the Switch is a fine console.
I hold everything against you.
Are you playing Animal Crossing?
You know what? I'm sorry. I'm not feeling it. Like I saw somebody else play it and it looks just like a boring version of Stardew.
Oh yeah, I mean Nintendo looked at Stardew and said this is far too complex because you actually have to pay attention to what you're doing. Let's make it simple and cute.
And people are eating it up.
Yeah, I know. I got coworkers who are obsessed with the game, and rightly so. I have it. I try to play it daily, but like people are telling me some of the shit that they're doing in this game. I'm like, dude, I just like struggled to build a bridge. Like I'm both doing it wrong and I'm just not investing the same amount of time and energy into this game.
It's interesting. It seems interesting and it's fine if you love it, but I watched somebody play it and I was like, this is tutorial. Let me just actually get to the good part of the game. I skipped into an hour and they're like, this here is a fishing rod. You get to fish with this if you press B. You know, I was like, holy shit. Well, an hour in and they're still teaching them how to play the game.
The other thing with Animal Crossing is it is not a game that you can just sit down and play through the entire thing in one sitting. Things take real time to appear and to progress. If you go to build like Nook's Cranny, the shop for your island, that's going to take a full like 24 hours real time to complete. You don't need to leave the game running. You start building it, check back in like 12 to 24 hours and it will be completed. So there comes a point where like you run out of things to do because you've done your daily allotment. You can still run around and harvest resources and whatnot, but for mission-based stuff, if your mission, for example, is build the shop, well, okay, I started it, now I literally have to sit and wait for it to finish, and there's obviously no like microtransactions or anything that speeds up the length of time it takes to complete that stuff. So still, it's a good game. It's just, yeah, you're right, it is a dumbed down version of Stardew Valley.
It seems fine, and I get it. Like, you get to hang out with your buds and like actually like talk to people in a simulation and do all the things that the Coronas doesn't let you do, but it's not for me, I guess.
That game it could not have come out at a better time. It is, I think, the like highest selling video game ever made because of the pandemic, because people are stuck inside. So they're all playing Animal Crossing, and it just the timing for it could not have been perfect. I think actually a lot of the games that have come out since the quarantine started have sold much better than outside of the pandemic, and the video game industry is one of the only ones right now that's booming. And it's they're finding ways to adapt too, because something I was really upset about was The Last of Us Part 2 getting delayed. They literally took the release date away, so much so that Sony was actually offering refunds to people that pre-ordered the game. Sony just a couple days ago announced, hey, we figured out how we can do physical distribution during these uncertain times. So the game now has a release date once again. So and they're going to make bank on it, because we're still going to be quarantined come June 17th. It's inevitable. That's just
2021.
I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about all the businesses, like ice cream places. Oh man, I can't wait to get a big ice cream when this is all over.
I'll tell you this: Miola's on is it Route 12? It's in
yes.
West Boylston. Open. Drove by them today, and they're open, and they didn't have a line. So take advantage. I think the ice cream places will stay open as long as they at least put the markers down, like just the walk-up ones. Obviously, not the sit-down ones, but as long as they do what every other establishment is doing and putting down their 6 feet apart, whatever, they'll be fine.
I know it's getting bad when I'm craving frozen yogurt, because I'm like, this like a lesser version of ice cream, and I'm like, you know what? I miss frozen yogurt.
What am I
saying?
What is it, 2014?
Fork you and your froyo.
They took something good and made it just a little bit less good.
Yeah,
I love that quote.
I remember when frozen yogurt was just everywhere. Like the shops were just popping up everywhere.
Oh my god, Orange was like Orange Theory. No, that's the workout place.
Yeah. Tutti Frutti, I think, is one of them.
Yeah, Fruit to Go or something. Yeah. for Froyo to go. Yeah. Fucking A.
They popped up everywhere, and then it was like a bubble. It was like a .com bubble.
Oh my god! Yeah, 6 months later, they're all closed.
Yep.
Speaking of closing,
Everything.
Good segue, Nate. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
I thought I'd catch that.
we'll start off this episode with death notices. 16 pages worth.
Sorry.
That's a little bit of Boston Herald humor for you, or was it the Herald or the Globe that had 16 pages of obituaries?
Oh,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, one of them. It was like the Sunday Globe. I think literally 16 pages of obituaries, all for mostly folks that have succumbed to the plague. But a non-human entity that has succumbed to the plague, Great Scott, in Alliston, Massachusetts.
Alliston, Rock City.
A tiny venue, but some goddamn good shows have been at this place. Great Scott. According to Boston.com, closing for good after 44 years. They opened up in 1976 and did not start off being the venue that they are today. It just gradually turned into that. And I've seen, I think, only 2 shows there. But they were 2. One of them is my number 1 favorite concert that I've ever been to. And it was at Great Scott. And it was John Nolan from Taking Back Sunday and his sister. And just, in a 240 cap venue. And just after the show, I was able to just, go up to him. Well, while his sister was opening the show, John was standing next to Kate and I. And I'm just Kate kept tapping me on the shoulder going, "You're staring. Stop staring at him." And I'm like, he's standing
I can
right
stare
next
if I
to me.
want to.
I don't know what to do. He's standing right next to me. Come on. So, and then after the show, just because it's Great Scott, because it's such a small venue, I was able to just walk up to the guy and talk to him for a few minutes, and was shitting myself the entire time. But it's a really nice venue. Again, a small venue. Nate, I'm sure you've got some memories.
Oh, it's very, very similar to yours. Is my cousin Dan Allen and I started getting into the dance musics and stuff, and then this band LeMay came out, and it was, they were kind of underground, semi-underground. They played there, and we're like, oh, holy shit, we can touch the stage. And they came down and chilled out with us after the show, and we got to shoot the shit with them. And then they did a song like this. I don't know if any of you remember, but they did the Facebook song where people were posting memories, and there was a background song. I was like, holy shit, that's a LeMay song. And then they fucking blew up. So I got to hang out with LeMay thanks to Great Scott.
That's awesome.
Fucking rad.
Yeah. Great Scott, one of those venues that bands, it was either the side projects or the solo members would typically play a venue like Great Scott, and you had that ability to just go up to them and just talk to them, and you could do it because it was such an intimate setting. I saw a band called Shone there about 6 years ago. Shone, a side project of Brand New. It's 2 members of Brand New and a couple other members, and these are bands that play Brand New. They could go on tour and sell out every venue that they play. They're such a prolific band, and I was able to just go up to the drummer and the guitarist after the show and just talk to them, and again, one of those moments dude, what the hell? I shouldn't be able to do this, but I can do it.
Yeah.
So, the general manager of Great Scott, he posted a thing on Instagram just announcing that the venue's closing. They're closed obviously because of the pandemic and the government mandated shutdowns everywhere, and a lot of businesses obviously are hurting. Some of them have announced that they're just not coming back, even when things are eased. Great Scott being one of them.
That sucks.
He says that the building owner is just not renewing their lease. But I'm sure those guys, they're hurting financially. They're probably not making anything because of you can't go to concerts right now. General Manager Tom Philbin says, quote, in his statement, "There's a sign that still hangs in the venue from the establishment that Great Scott replaced, the name of which was Brandy's. That sign reads, quote, wherever where incredible friendships begin. I'm glad we never took it down because it explains Great Scott better than I ever could. I know exactly which sign he's talking about. The Boston.com article also had a bunch of tweets from musicians who were, eulogizing essentially Great Scott. And one of them pointed out, he's like, I drank something like a gazillion PBRs at Great Scott. Which is true. It's pretty much all they had. And it's kind of like, Lubo's or the Strand, whatever it's called now in Providence, where when you go there and you see everyone drinking nothing but Narragansett. In Boston at Great Scott, everyone's drinking PBRs. You are a piece of shit if you spend more than $2 for a 16-ounce can of brew.
True.
So, Boston.com article also mentions in 2016, Consequence of Sound named it the 8th best concert venue in America, writing that the, quote, petite 240 capacity venue carries all of the traits of an ace dive bar without the unbearable setbacks. Compared to a place like Ralph's in Worcester, which, boys, that place is just colorful.
That's the word for it.
Very nicely.
Mike, Great Scott, any memories?
I don't think I've ever actually gone to Great Scott for a concert.
That's fine.
I pictured. Yeah, I have a lot of other venues in and around the Alliston, Brighton area that I've gone to, but not Great Scott. Like Cantab, I've gone to Cantab, Brighton Music Hall and those areas, but I've never gone to Great Scott.
Yeah, they're all within like walking distance of one another. Yeah. I always park in the same spot, and I can get the 3 different venues from there. That sucks. It sucks to read. But it's the nature of the beast right now. Like we said, some industries are thriving, others just, they aren't. So hopefully this doesn't go on for much longer. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but, and this completely contradicts everything I said earlier about the inevitability of us still being here in June. But come on, man. It's like, it hasn't hit me yet, but I had a friend text me the other day telling me that she woke up and just like all of a sudden realized, just the weight of what the pandemic is doing right now. So,
it's a lot, man.
Yeah, it's unless you're like 120 years old and can vividly remember the, flu of 1918, then people have never lived through something like this before. It's just bizarre. We actually have later on in the show, we're going to talk about the effect it's having on homeschooling.
True.
So we got that.
But
prom, man, best prom ever.
What's the weird thing about this whole thing that I didn't expect, and we don't have to really get into it, but I'm curious if you guys are experiencing this too, but
lost time.
I didn't expect to find myself disappointed at so many of my friends. Like posting stupid shit.
I'm used to it.
Well, there's that, and I've also sort of cleansed myself of social media. Like I'm still going on it, obviously, but I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just immune to it. Like with everything that happened with the election a couple of years ago, maybe I'm just immune to seeing such dumb shit posts. It's sort of like
most of the people that dumb shit post unfriended me a while ago.
I'm trying to be a good boy about it, but like it just boils my blood to see stupidity.
It's nothing new, it's one more excuse to be stupid. That's pretty much what it is. The problem is now is everyone's stuck inside and they can't go anywhere. So now they have more time to be stupid. The thing that drives me insane is just like, dude, until your governor says like, don't go outside, don't gather in crowds. Like this is going on in California right now with the beaches in Orange County being closed by government mandate, and people are protesting out there. Like that completely defeats the purpose of everything.
Yeah, we've made it this long. Why can't you just...
I want a haircut. I want a haircut. I want a haircut.
I'm so happy I have clippers because I not only buzzed my head, but I buzzed it the shortest it's ever been. And mostly just to rub it in the face of everyone around me who's been complaining about not being able to get a haircut.
Jack just actually has cancer. He just doesn't want to tell everybody on the show.
Not yet.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to make an announcement yet, man. You blew it.
You ruined the surprise. We blew the surprise on you.
Sorry. Walker told me I have AIDS.
Mike, when I was driving home, I went by, I pretty much took Route 12 the whole way and going by the Wachusett Reservoir. God, cars just lining the road.
Oh, yeah. They got nothing else to do. They're like, I'm going to go for a walk with everybody else. I've never seen so many trailheads have so many fucking cars parked together. You're like, you fucking dipshits.
I can't do anything because I'm supposed to be quarantined. I know. I'll go hiking with 30 other people.
Yeah, and fuck face masks, man. Fuck that shit. I'm not wearing no fucking mask.
Oh, my God. So many people on the local community pages are saying that. And you're like,
You're like, dude, they're like, them's always only for 6 people. You only got to wear the mask if you sick. It's like, first of all, could barely understand you. Third of all, fuck you.
I hate wearing a mask, but I'll do it because I don't want to be shunned, and B, it's getting to the point now where I think even like Marty Walsh or Charlie Baker, one of them, they made it a mandate now in certain public areas.
Charlie Baker.
Yeah.
Charlie Baker. Charlie Baker today was like, hey, as of May 6th, anytime you're out in public, even if you're not 6 feet away from somebody, you're wearing a fucking mask.
I like that. Okay, so you're doing the Marty Walsh voice for Charlie Baker.
Whatever.
I was gonna say, but that's
because you said Marty Walsh. I was like, oh, Marty Walsh didn't do it. Charlie Baker did, but I was already committed to Marty Walsh.
It's good.
Marty Walsh. I mean, is it a requirement if you want to be the mayor of Boston to just talk with a bunch of shit in your mouth?
No. It is a requirement if you're a mayor of Boston to be able to just be heard without seeing you and know that you're the mayor of Boston.
That's true.
George of Boston, the mayor of Benito, and the Veritech splitting the upgrades.
Listen, you're too coherent there. It was more like.
It's because I literally didn't have marbles in my mouth.
It's so funny watching the whatever Apple or not Apple, the ABC podcast things or the app, whatever. Cool. I just ruined my own story. But anyway, they have like the ABC News has an app where it shows like all the different states like conferences. So right after Cuomo does like a very well presented, like he speaks very well, he's very articulate, and he's so good at talking. And then it switch over to Marty, and he's like, here in Boston, the numbers are going up.
But it's true. It's true Bostonian though. You need to have that ability to articulate in order to be the mayor. It's a requirement. Yeah. So, well, so you mentioned cancer earlier, so I'll bring it up right now to close out our death notices. Sam Lloyd.
This one hurts.
Actor on Scrubs dies at 56. Sam Lloyd, best known as Ted the Lawyer from Scrubs. I'm sure we've all watched Scrubs, or as Peter Griffin likes to point out, Black Scrubs. Yep. Now, Nate, I mean this with the utmost of due respect. But whenever
I hear it coming here, just go for it. This isn't the first time I'm going to hear this. Go ahead, go.
Mike, do you see it?
Yeah. I'll let you go. I'll let you do it all.
Anytime I see Ted on any episode of Scrubs, I think of Fillers. I know Fillers is not that miserable, but come on.
Come on, guys. I'm not that bad.
Eeyore.
It's so when I worked at Circuit City, that dates how long ago it was. Everybody went around saying like different Scrubs characters, and I was just like, you know what, I'm kind of like awkward, and I have a lot of like dialogue going on in my head, and I'm kind of like I'm probably JD. This I know he's like the hero of it, but like he's a klutz, so I'm kind of, they're like, no, you're Ted.
Oh.
And I was like, Oh,
you don't get to choose. We choose for you.
Like, okay.
Perfect Ted reaction too.
If you don't know who Ted is on Scrubs, he was this guy.
The hospital doesn't want to be sued. Being sued is not a good thing. Finally, doctors, if there is a mistake, don't admit it to the patient. Of course, if the patient is deceased, you're sure, you can feel free to tell him or her anything.
Ted, throughout the pretty much the whole run of the series, and I'm not sure about the last season. This season we don't talk about. Ted had
the last season or
I'm talking about
new Scrubs.
When it switched networks and they pulled a Seventh Heaven. They did their finale and then they decided, yeah, no, never mind, we're gonna keep going.
That was the new Scrubs.
The new Scrubs, the terrible Scrubs.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Ted had a band called the Worthless Peons. And they were an a cappella group, and they sounded like this.
Morning, Dr. Dorian.
Ted, you probably don't notice it yourself, but this hospital is a freak show.
This is my band. We're all working from different departments in the hospital. Legal,
accounting,
shipping and receiving, online property management, including pest control, nighttime security, and non-arboreal gardening services.
That's just great.
We mostly do a cappella versions of cartoon theme songs.
Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon on wheels.
Turn.
He's a demon and he's gonna be chasing after someone. It's good. Let's do it again.
Great character.
Yeah.
I believe he had
very great.
I believe Sam Lloyd had brain cancer and was diagnosed last year. Obviously it was a death sentence for him. I think he was still showing up and stuff, though. I feel like I saw him on an episode of Modern Family from this season, and he was there. So he was, if that's right, he was working right up to the very end. So good for him. But there you go. That's Sam Lloyd. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about someone who just needs to shut the fuck up, and it's not me.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
That should be enough for you to guess who it is. So we'll return with that.
Oprah.